Hello, my friend. Today is an exciting day. We kick off the Red Zinger Day. Yes, this is the Red Zinger, and I've been talking about this quilt for a very long time. It is made by Karen Griska. This is her actual quilt that she has lent me. Isn't that fabulous? Yes! So I'm so excited. We have a couple other things first, so let me do those, then we can concentrate on the Red Zinger, because I have a lot of stuff to sort of get organized so that I can be working on this while I'm doing other things. So that's how I'm going to approach it. But first, let's do the Secret Lives of Color. We are on number 63, and so that means we're getting towards the back of the book. So we're on russet potatoes. No, she does not mention russet potatoes. I don't know why she doesn't mention that. If you live where there are potatoes consumed often, those are a big one. So it turns out russet, like I think she said it was scarlet, was actually a cloth. So for many, many years, it wasn't actually a color, it was actually a cloth. And it was a cloth that was, worn by people who didn't have a lot of money. And it was decreed by the government or the king that they should only be able to wear russet cloth. And so this is the russet that I picked. My brown, I really love this chocolate brown. I don't think I'd want to wear it all the time, but I love this chocolate brown. And I'm on the little block. And so I now can put the little block down there, sew the next group of 3, and sew that. So we're on the last row. So I'm on the second little section here. And I actually had laid out some of the other brown blocks. I'll give you a sneak peek. So I've got them on my board here so that I can sort of sew them as I'm sewing other things, or chain piece a few late at night, so I can get ahead a little bit on those because I'm going to be making red zingers. Those are important. So the russet one is interesting about its how it came about, although I still think she should have mentioned potatoes. All right. This is like an all. Well, there's one. Oh, wait. Dots. Today is a dot day. I totally forgot all of yesterday's things. I do a little like outline or list for myself. A script would be the technical term. But I missed everything for yesterday because yesterday was Hoagie Day. It was Coloring Day. It was Virginia Day. And I live in Virginia. So today is dot day, so we're not going to miss dot day. I want to show you, I got out my dot. I think this is a great dot quilt of mine because it's the Little Wishes. Let me see. Oh my gosh, the hanging sleeve is not stitched yet. What is wrong with me? So guess what, that's going to have to get stitched down. That's not stitched down, it's just glued. Okay, so here is the Little Wishes. And this is a free pattern. And I think one of the things that makes mine is the dots. Red dots, navy and black dots. Black dots for the star points, red dots for the sashing. Yeah, dots, everything dots. So today, share a quilt of yours that has dots. That will be fabulous. The more dots, the better. Okay, I gotta put this over here so we can concentrate. All right, to do the Red Zinger, you'll need the pattern, so Karen Griska's pattern, so you have to go purchase that, and the link is down below to get that. She also wrote a book, but this is not in the book, and the book is older. You can find it on Amazon. I will link to that as well. If you just want some background to go with it, some directions to go with how to use selvages, she's got a whole bunch of info on this. And then there's another book I like by Real Nelson, that is also, they both give you information about working with selvages and a bunch of different patterns. But this is a single pattern you have to purchase at Karen's website. All right, so there's some different components, different things that you need for doing this. But it's really, really simple. I'm going with one background, which is red. So here's my first block. And they're built like on a foundation. So you're cutting red squares and then you're building this up. My red is very similar to hers. So you can see It's not, hers is a teeny bit more reddish, and it's a solid. Mine is maybe leans a little bit more towards yellow, and it has a cross weave. And there's a link in the description box below and at the first comment, which I pinned, that you can go get the same red that I'm using. Now Karen was so sweet because when she sent me the quilt, she also sent a few other blocks that she had that were done with different background colors. Now in her pattern she also shows that, but I thought I would show you the blocks that she sent because they are, it's really great to see them in person. Well, I'm seeing them in person. So here's a white background. So you can imagine that it will be a very light quilt because you have so much white on the edges, and then a white, you know, structure that you're putting it on. So it will be a very light quilt. Here is yellow. I think yellow would just be spectacular. I love yellow. Here is a kind of a charcoal gray. So it's not black, but it's kind of a dark charcoal gray, and that's pretty stunning. I think that that would look very elegant. And then the aqua. I know there's quite a few of you that are going to do yours on aqua, and here is one block to see what that looks like. She was so nice to send those along. It really is helpful with colors because your quilt, when you look at this, the quilt will pop out at you with that color image. If you're doing white, that's probably the one that will be the most different as far as the effect of the final design, because the white, although white does come towards you, there's so much white and lights in the selvages. I don't know how it would look. I think it'd be pretty cool to see one with white. The others are probably going to have the same effect as the red. So if you're dealing with like the yellow, you're going to definitely see that yellow imagery of these sort of big X type shapes. So as we go along, so what is the plan? Because I am not going to do this as just one day a week. I think I don't know what I put on the calendar. I don't remember. But I'm going to be working on it kind of continuously, just like I have been for the turquoise squares. You know, so I have this basket with the turquoise squares. I am going to put this whole thing, I've got these, I've got one here ready to finish up, but this whole thing will be put away for a bit because I will be using these as like starts and stops between other blocks, and then just to sew at night. That is my goal for that. So I need to put this basket somewhere else, and I need to create a basket with the selvages so that I can work from them. So today is all about organizing. That's our discussion today, to sort of get everybody on board if you're going to be doing this, so that you can get your stuff out, you can get ready, make your decisions on what you're going to use as your background, and then look through what salvages you have. And that's what we're going to do next, because my friends, you have been so amazing, and over the last year you have sent me so many salvages. Let's take a look before we open the containers. Let's take a look at how many containers. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 containers of edges. Oh my goodness, this is a lot. I could probably make 5 of these quilts. I am going to make mine one row longer as a rectangle, so I can hang it on the wall. I think it'll just give it that height. I might make another one to hang in my bedroom that's a rectangle above the bed, because I actually need a weird shape. That's what I did with the elephants. Anyways, I digress. We need to be organized. Okay, so first thing is have some red Zinger tea. This is one of the gifts. I haven't even opened it yet, but I'm going to make some of this while I'm getting organized, because why not? Okay, we're going to go to the back side of the table with all of these and discuss how to maybe more efficiently work with what's in here. Let's go. Well, first on the back side of my table are things that I have been working on that I'm going to have to shift over. So I thought I'd show you those because this is real life. This is real life, my friend, what we're doing right now. So I am almost finished with the peppermint, and then I have to do the bow for the cross stitch for this week. And then I have the crumb block, the purple crumb block that I just am finishing up the sleeve. I did the label wherever it is, there. So the label is already stitched and written down, and I just have to finish the sleeve. So this needs to, so I don't lose the needle. There we go. Don't lose the needle, Pat. Okay, over there, out of the way. Now we can take a look at the bins. So I have so many selvages, and I am not the kind of person who will go through all of these bins and sort them and organize them by color and things like that. That just doesn't interest me. That just doesn't even sound fun. So I'm going to take a look first. There's 3 here. Then there's 2 others that are, the other 2 are about this size. See this one, right? And then the other box is about that. It's maybe a little bit smaller. So let's just first look at what we're dealing with. So we have, this is the one Karen, this is one somebody else sent me that's quite old. It's from 1953. So that's really cool. So I need to put that one in for sure. Now what I tried to do is, a lot of you did send them fairly tidy, so they're not, they're kind of flat. And my thought is that I am just going to take a box, okay, let's see. It could feel overwhelming, don't you think? Okay, here's what my thought is. I am going to take just some groups, like take a bunch like this, take a bunch like this, and okay, here's some more, and just take out of each of these bins, so I have sort of a variety of what people have sent, and put them in a basket that's next to the sewing machine. Because what I'll do then is run them through, and I could just pick it up out of the basket and use it. So what basket will I use? That little one that I had with the squares in it, that's too small. It does fit over there really nice, so I'll just have to shove things around a little bit, but it's too tiny for all of these strips. These rope baskets that I bought a little while ago have been wonderful. I use them for all kinds of things, and I believe they are a much better fit for this. So like if I just wanted to take and put a pile in here, like, oh, look at this. See, this is going to be so much fun. Look at this. Look, with the skunk and the deer, because I want to have a lot of the color too. I don't want to just not have any color. So like here is some license plates. Did I see that already? No, maybe I just saw it sitting there. Some license plates, some sewing machines. Fun. So what I'll do is I'll take this basket and fill it up. And then I will just use and see how many I make. This is so much. It's so fun. And then okay, that's pretty. So, okay, I'm just putting, okay, I'm distracted. All right, I'm putting them in there. So I'm going to fill this up. And I will, like I said, I'll go across all of them, so I'm getting a variety of what people sent. Like these are some of the earlier ones in this particular bin, because this is what happened. I had this little one that I kept filling up to the point where like the lid doesn't close on it, because this was sitting on top, so I will get some out of here, like the hedgehogs I got the other day. Look at them. Okay, after that, after I fill that up with a variety, I will cut a bunch of squares. I might just go ahead and cut all the squares that I need, because not only do I have these, then we have the border that goes all the way around it with all the selvages. So that is my task, to fill up this basket and cut a bunch of these. Now, how am I going to work through this? what is my goal? I like to have goals for projects. I don't really enjoy having them just sort of be open-ended. Not that I don't have open-ended projects. I have projects that are older that I have never finished, but this one I'm just starting. So anything I'm just starting, I am trying to have some sort of end goal. Now it'd be nice to have all those done in a month, but I don't really know if that's reasonable because I haven't really timed how long or looked at how long it actually takes me to do some of these. I'm thinking I will probably want to sew them later in the evening because I like sewing between 9:30 and 10:30 but at night, but I don't enjoy doing anything complicated then. I really like something very easy that's all set up and ready to go. And these will be perfect because what I'm going to do is sort of chain piece where I'll do maybe I'll do 5 at a time and then do one strip on all 5 and then another strip on all 5 until I've built all 5 blocks out. And I think as I go, I will probably be looking maybe to add certain colors, maybe not. So I thought what we do now is go and I'll take a close-up again and we'll look at Karen's and the different fabrics that she has used in hers so you can get kind of an idea because that's what I've been looking at. And just how you want to present your fabric in the quilt. Do you want to have a lot of extra, color showing, or would you prefer it to be maybe much more narrow? Here's one. Maybe you prefer yours to be much more narrow. Now this one will have practically no color after you cover that seam allowance. I mean, you're probably pretty much going to be white with maybe a minutia like 1/8 of an inch sliver showing because you have to cover up that raw edge. So some of you might want that look. That might be what you're totally going for. I can see putting some of those for me in different places. All right, let's do a close-up over on the quilt. I want to zoom in just on a couple blocks and show you the scale of what Karen used. So like here, she didn't even have any white edge on this one. This was just the floral. And here was just all yellow right out to the edge, none of the dots. So that's another thing you have to think of. Do you want all dots? Do you want a lot of text? Here are some where you're going to have very little showing. This strip is pretty narrow. See, that one's pretty narrow. And over here, if anybody has a piece of this and wants to send it to me, I would be ever so grateful. It is so darn cute. I just love it. Love it, love it. And that also, you can see her top stitching. That's the other thing, is what top stitching thread, what color. But she's using white. That's probably what I'll use. Look at these houses. Okay, things to think about. All right, we're ready to go. We're ready to go with the red Zinger. Get your plan organized. Get your basket next to your sewing machine. I'm going to fill this all the way up full with the edges and your background and do a test block. So this week, do a test block. The link is below to Karen's red Zinger pattern. And it is so fabulous. I thank Karen again and again for letting me borrow her quilt to share with all of you and for me to examine in the greatest minutia. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.